your favorite 71% successful grant writer, Superior Shelby. And I'm sorry that my line is not too good today, but welcome in, friends. So, in today's live stream, we are going to go over some really cool grants that I found. As you know, this is the beginning of August, so you don't want to miss out on free money that you can get for your startup and small business. I have been writing and winning grants for 10 years, and I have a 71% successful grant writing rate. And I have this entire dedicated YouTube channel that teaches you about how to search and apply to grants. So if you are watching this live stream after I have recorded it, make sure you join us every day around 10 a.m. Eastern time. So that way you don't miss out on the chance of learning about grants, how to access them, how to help increase your chances of winning, and what it's like to win a grant. Okay, so thank you so much, you guys, for joining. As you are joining on this live stream, make sure you like the live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can push this good information out to other entrepreneurs who are interested in knowing about small business grants. Now, I have four really good grants. One is for a nonprofit. One is specifically for mommies. Another one is a $25,000 grant that all of us can apply to, no matter what race, gender, ethnic group, or sexuality you're a part of. And as long as you are a US-based business, we're going to go over that grant. And we're also going to go over a really cool pitch competition that is specifically for women entrepreneurs. So buckle in because this live stream is full of good information and I don't want you to miss out on it. So let's get right into the grant spiel, my usual, what grants are, how I find them, what you need to have before you apply to them, give you a quick grant tip, and then we'll get right into the four grants that we're going to talk about today. Over $50,000 that you should be going for right now, especially if you qualify for any one of these grant opportunities, okay? And I also want to reassure you, I put out 2 shorts yesterday and they're still going, right now on YouTube. I have 2 new classes that I will be teaching you all, having only 20 people in a Zoom call. And I'm actually going to walk you through applying to one of these grants that we're going over today, which is the $25,000 grant for all startups. And also for those of you who are in the health and who are in the beauty industry. If you're a salon owner, if you have a suite, or if you have like a hair care product, there's a $50,000 grant that you should be going for right now. And I'm also going to walk you through that application on Saturday. So Friday, we're going to go over the $25,000 grant together, and I'm going to help you actually submit the application. That's why I have limited spots of only 20 people in this class. So if you want to join me on Friday, it's going to be Friday evening, like around 5 p.m. Eastern time, okay? And even if you can't get in, you'll still get the recording after I'm done. But yes, so you'll have that. If you want to join, you can just simply text hashtag 25K to my number. I'll drop my number in the chat. My number is 855-731-1487. So you can just text hashtag 25K, sorry, and then I'll send you the link to go ahead and join. It's $20 if you want me to walk you through the grant and help you submit this $25,000 grant application. And we're going to go over this grant today. And then if you are interested in a $50,000 grant and you are a hair or beauty-based business, so you might have a hair care product, you might be selling wigs, extensions, or even if you're selling combs, hot combs, and irons, whatever have you, you qualify for this $50,000 grant. I don't want you to miss out on it. The deadline date is coming up soon. So on Saturday, I have 2 classes for that one. That's 9 a.m. Eastern time or 5 p.m. Eastern time as well. So you do have 2 available times, but each class, I only have a limited spots. It's $20 per seat, and it's 20 people, right? I only wanted 20 of y'all, and probably not everybody's going to join on the same day. So you might have like only 5 of us in there, which is even better because it's a more intimate space where you get to ask questions and you get my direct help in assisting you with developing that answer, a strong answer to help you increase your chances of approvals. Now, these grants that we're going to go over, the 25K and the 50K in the classes, they're choosing multiple winners. So that's the reason why I chose those particular grants, okay? All right, y'all, so let's get right into it. So before I jump into these 4 grants that total out more than $50,000 that you should be going for, let's talk about what a grant is, how you can find them, where they come from, and what you need to have before you go for a grant. So number 1, grants is free money that you don't have to pay back. And for startups and entrepreneurs and small business owners, these are really great funding instruments that you can go for instead of going for traditional funding like loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. Now, I'm a girl who had to pay back $200,000 USD in SBA loans, and it is not fun at all. But I was able to get a grant to help me pay back those loans and stuff. So you can get a grant to help you pay back debts. You can get a grant to help you hire people. You can get a grant to help you develop your get supplies and equipment, help you develop your product, and so much more. There will always be a grant out here for you, no matter what business, market, industry that you're into. It is all about how you go for the grant. Now, there's even grants out here for if you're into real estate, but you have to be either like a nonprofit, and also it has to be something that's like development in an underserved rural area. And those are usually what we call state and local funded grants. Okay, so you can get a grant from your state or from your city or your town, and they will give you the money to help you revitalize or upgrade a certain place. All right. You can also get a grant from a private investor or sector like Hello Skip, Fearless Fund, Black Ambition Prize, so many other places that you can get grants from. And so those are private investors in private sectors. Even Generator and Y Combinator, you guys might know about Y Combinator. They're very well known pitch competition plays, but they give out grants too. All right, so those are private investors, private sectors, and then you can get grants from other companies. So like let's say Adidas, Nike, Google, Apple, all of these places actually give out grants, and they do this to serve their community. They know who is shopping with them, right? And so they do this to give back, and it also helps them on the back end with taxes, friend. So you can always have grants available for you no matter what's going on economically and politically, okay? Now, I don't talk about federally funded grants on my channel simply because there's a lot of politics behind those grants. But these grants that I'm going over are privately funded, and they have got all these donators, right? They put all the money together, and that's how they were able to give the money out. Okay, so these grants I'm going over, they will always be like available for you. Okay, so don't worry. So I always get this question: how do I find these grants? I go to helloskip.com. HelloSkip is an app that you can download. It's blue and white. I love HelloSkip, especially if you are a person who has never submitted a grant application before. HelloSkip is a certified nonprofit organization, so they actually give out grants as well. They give out a $10,000 grant every month, and they also give out $1,000 weekly raffle grants too. All right. So you can download the Hello Skip app. That's going to help you find some grants and learn how to answer grant questions. Also, Hello Skip has artificial intelligence there to help you with grammar and to make sure and reassure you on your answer strength. Your answer strength is how good and detailed your grant is. Okay, so I like Hello Skip. You can use my invite code Superior Shelby. All of that, the link and everything is in the description, friend. Okay, I got it there for you. The second website that I use is called grantwatch.com. Now, grantwatch.com is my absolute favorite. Now, it's for those of you who have so many different business ideas. This is the ultimate Google database for grants. You can't find a grant by simply Googling grants for my business. That's not how this works. You have to go directly through a specific grant search engine that scans through all websites and the entire internet and finds multiple grant opportunities for you. And that is what grantwatch.com does. Now, it is $45 a month for you to have access to be able to see all the details of the grant. But friend, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. That's what my grandma used to say, okay? I just want you to use grantwatch.com as a search engine to find out how many grants there is available. If you can find more than 5 to 7 grants in there that serve in your favor and that you're interested in, you can always, use the title of that grant and Google that grant and then go directly to the website and learn more about it yourself. So you can essentially skip the $45, or you can pay the $45 like I do, and you can have all access to the information and just direct information. You don't have to go directly to the grant website to learn more about it. They will have it there inside of Grant Watch. Okay, so grantwatch.com is blue and white. They have a smart filter there for you, so you can use all the filters in place to narrow down to the best grants that serve in your favor. Okay, now I love those two websites. They're really good and easy to use, so make sure you use them. Okay, friend. All right, so Hello Skip, grantwatch.com. Those are the two main websites and apps that I use to find all these grants, especially these 4 grants we're going to go over that total out more than $50,000. I use grantwatch.com to find these grants, okay? And I'll be searching every day because I'm applying to grants every day too for myself and for my clients, okay? All right, so what you need to have before you go for grants. I get this frequently asked question all the time. I even have a dedicated YouTube playlist with 5 videos from 6 to 10 minutes each, telling you exactly direct information of how to properly prepare for grants and what you need before you apply to them. But since you're here with me, friend, make sure you like the live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can push this YouTube live stream out to everybody out there who's starting a business. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you what you need to know right now. Having a business plan, a business pitch deck, and a 90-second pitch video or a 3-minute pitch video will actually help you be properly prepared for grants. These grant applications, as we're going to go over today, are going to ask you thorough questions about what is your business, what is your product and service, what is your business mission, who are your client, what's your client type, how are you serving them, and what's their problem, and what makes you different from your competitors, and how would you use the grant money. A business plan will thoroughly give a full timeline and some goals on exactly how you would reach those goals and be impactful with using this grant opportunity. Also, a business plan is going to have your mission statement and your executive summary, your competitive analysis, some market research, and also a full expense list to thoroughly explain to the grantors of exactly how you would use this money. Okay, the business pitch deck essentially is a PowerPoint presentation of that. So it's that visually, aesthetically appealing piece. And it's some slideshows that you will go through when you're speaking with somebody like on Zoom or something like that. And you would essentially pitch to them, whoever's going to give out the free money, and you would explain to them how you would use the money. Now, each slide is going to be detailed with pictures and also some statistics and information to show how impactful you will be when you win this opportunity. And you got to step in there and have faith and have confidence that you will win this opportunity. Okay, that's how these things go. All right, if you're not confident and if you don't have faith and belief that you can actually win one of these grants, don't waste your time. Okay, you got to believe in yourself and believe in your idea, and it shows how much you believe in your idea and how much faith you have in it by the way that you talk about your business on these applications. Show up and show out for your idea. Okay, now the 3-minute pitch video or the 90-second pitch video, it's that video that you need to talk about your service and product. Now, you're going to use the backside camera of your phone, friend, because we know this by now. Everybody's recording content, so you know how to make sure your camera phone is clean and it looks good, okay? You can use editing tools like CapCut, which I love CapCut, or you can just simply use like other editing tools, Adobe, whatever have you. But I use CapCut. And you can just record your pitch video using the backside camera of your phone. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to talk about your product and service, who you serve, what their main problem is, and what your solution, how you bring the solution to them. And you're also going to talk about how impactful you would be if you just had that one chance of being able to have the pay for the budgets or whatever the case may be, whatever your strategy is, right? So you need to have a 90-second pitch video. Plus, friend, in 2025, we are living in the the pinnacle right now, it seems like, of the digital age. So if you don't have a social media presence, a website, and also a pitch video that goes behind that, introducing your product and service, then you cannot be serious about trying to make some real money in your business. Simply because we use these social media apps just to find the greatest pizza place near us, to find hair braiders to braid our hair, and even to find babysitters. You understand what I'm saying? People who wash cars and stuff. We literally use these social media apps to find people in our area for services and products. And if you are that person that does that, then if you are starting a business and you're offering a service and product, you need to have a social media presence. Now, we also the other day went over, I think yesterday, we went over 5 or 7 tips on what you should not do when you are applying to grants. Now, I'll go over some of those tips later on in this live stream just to reassure you once we're done going over all of these grants, because I want you to have reassurance on what you should not be doing. Now, I've also been reading some comments online with people saying, oh, grants is a scam, grants is not a real thing. And then I've even gotten text messages and comments from you guys saying, well, I've applied to some grants, or I applied to this grant, but I didn't get it. I'm not applying to grants anymore. Listen, If you come with that type of negative mindset and you just simply want to make money, then you are not ready for this type of game. Going for a grant just for the money is not all what it's cracked up to be. Sometimes you can go for a grant simply for the network and the deals and perks that it comes behind. But you would have never received those deals and perks and that type of network without applying to the opportunity. For example, the LegalZoom grant, right? We know, I don't know if you guys know about this, but every year there's a grant that LegalZoom does in partner with ASEAN Fund. And it's a $10,000 grant. They give out $10,000 to over 200 businesses. But anybody who applies to this grant usually comes around November. Anybody who applies to this grant gets a $500 LegalZoom credit, which means if you have not set up your business properly and professionally yet, which means if you did not get your LLC, your website, all that stuff done, you can use that $500 credit to be able to get your LLC for free, EIN number, and all of that stuff professionally set up, and also have other additional resources that you'll need in your business setup, right? So I've had like that a lot of y'all, okay, because you guys was joining those live streams last year as we were applying to it together on live, all that good stuff. Hundreds of y'all actually received that $500 credit. And I even have one person that commented and she said, "Thank you so much, Shelby, because my son was able to get a free LLC and now he started his car washing business." I hope he's doing well, friend. So if you are coming back and circling back to my live stream, shout out to you. I hope your son is doing really well with that free LLC he got. But you see what I'm saying? Even though they didn't win a $10,000, they was able to get the $500 LegalZoom credit that allowed them to get a free LLC. But you would have never gotten that perk or deal if you didn't simply submit the grant application. So change your mindset about how grants work. Most entrepreneurs don't go for grants simply because they don't want to put in the efforts of developing their creative writing skills, aka they don't want to answer no questions. Or two, they simply don't have the time to go for it. Or three, they have this mindset of feeling like they are not worthy of that type of opportunity. You got to change your mindset, friend. You are worthy of all wins. You are worthy of the victory that God has for you. So sit down, take your time, think about how you're going to develop your business and how this money is going to truly help you build, provide jobs for people, provide so much services and help solve problems. Focus on the mission and you will be able to win all this money, okay? 10 years of me doing this, millions of dollars. I'm even in Africa right now as we speak off of a $5 million grant opportunity. Don't sleep on these grants. And also, I just recently did my certification, my recertification for grant writing. And they stated in our class that the grant application submissions is actually lowering. It's as if entrepreneurs and startups are like not fond of this particular, like, these type of funding opportunities, but it's increasing in the loans. Ain't that something? That is so crazy. So don't don't have a negative mindset about it. Let's make sure we're staying focused. All right, so I want to get into these grants. So make sure you have your pencils and pens ready and notepads. Even if you don't, all of the information that you need to know about the grants that I'm going over right now is in the description below. The clickable links, the deadline dates, the all that stuff, how much the grant is. All of the information that you need is in the description below. You can click on my face. It should bring up the description, or you can click on the title of this live stream, depending on what type of, handheld device or device that you're using right now to watch me on. You should be able to access the description and you will see everything in the description. Don't forget, Friday and Saturday, I'm teaching you how to apply to a $25,000 grant and also a $50,000 grant. If you are interested in that, definitely text. I'm going to put my number inside of the chat here, and then we're going to get right into, going for these grants. Okay. Or talking about these grants. Hey, everybody, you're welcome. Great show yesterday. Thank you. CapCut has recently changed their TOS. If you still use it, I highly recommend to go read the changes. Yes, I remember you said that last time, but I still use CapCut just because like it's easier for me to use. But yes, you guys definitely want to read those data changes, how they're using your data and stuff like that. Okay, or how they're using your content. So yeah. All right, hold on, you guys. Let me put so you can text hashtag 25K to my number, which is 855-731-1487. Okay, so there you go. I'm putting my number in the chat for y'all, and I'm going to pin it here. So we're going to go over the $25,000 grant that I will be walking you through and helping you submit the application on Friday. So it's $20 for you to join. It's only 20 spots available because I want it to be an intimate space, and I want to thoroughly teach you how to develop your creative writing skills and how to answer these questions, but not only answer these questions, but also how you can have these conversations, develop your conversations with people who want to give you free money in person. For those of you who have never been to like a networking event, or you've been to networking events, but it spooks you out because you don't know what to say about your business and you're just walking around and you're being afraid, or you don't go to these networking events simply because somebody has told you that it's a scam, somebody told you that it's not valuable. I'm here to tell you that is not true. You just need to know how to control your environment. And it's all about what you say, friend. All right. All right. So the first grant I want to go over, this is specifically for nonprofits. I usually don't go over nonprofit grants, but this one I want to go over because I noticed some of you all do have a nonprofit and you are watching me. So I want to go over this one first, and then the other three are specifically for my for-profit businesses. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you here. You're very welcome, Miss Candice. Thank you so much for joining. You guys, make sure you like the live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can push this good information out there for you, okay? All right, so the link to this grant that we're going over is literally in the chat, so don't forget you can have access to it in the chat. All right, so we're going to go over this grant here. All right, so it's called the Greater Sum. It's an incubator program. All right, and I think they're giving out 10,000, and this is for nonprofits. Okay, so you guys stick with me. The other three are specifically for-profit startups and small business owners. All right, so it says the Greater Sum is a private operation foundation that awards grants via a pitch competition and a matching gifts campaign. Both grant award programs are open to graduates of our free virtual incubator program. VIPs also receive access to our network of subject matter experts. So you can, click the video and learn more about it. So they have the last incubator schedule, right, is on the 15th. All right. So the deadline date is the 15th for you to submit your application. Okay. So this is for September, October cohort. So what you're getting with the virtual incubator, this is what we're going to read. It says, we ask successful nonprofit founders what they wish they'd known in the early days and build our virtual incubator experience around their answers. Put together the puzzle pieces of mission, strategy, and finance with help from greater sum skills-based volunteers. The free six-week program is uh, comprised of, sorry, you guys, work at your own pace video curriculum, weekly discussions with nonprofit peers, individual coaching sessions available on the topics you request. The time committed is approximately 2 hours per week for 6 weeks. We hold weekly discussion sessions, and participants are expected to be up to date on a self-paced virtual curriculum before each peer chat session. The program is designed for leaders of early stage nonprofits doing innovative, scalable work. Okay, so if you are an early stage nonprofit, you must be a nonprofit that is early enough that you would benefit from the mentorship and a small amount of funding. You must have a US 501c3, have submitted paperwork for the 501c3, or operate under fiscal sponsorship. So even if you don't have your 501c3, if you have already submitted the paperwork to the IRS so you can get this tax exempt 501c3 filing, then you still qualify for this opportunity. Innovative, okay? You need to be a nonprofit that approaches an existing problem with a new and impactful idea that will be meaningfully positive. Sorry. For example, an existing solution applied to a population previously without access, a new service offering, or a new technology. Has to be scalable. So service delivery model that becomes more cost effective as you expand your service area. Nonprofits accomplish this in a variety of ways, including branching, franchising, strategic partnerships, and distributing best practices. SMART goals are a good inspiration for these types of growth plans. So SMART is the acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bond. So the grand prize is $10,000, and a cohort of participants are invited to their annual fundraising accelerator, which is really cool. which awards matching grants of up to $5,000. So you can potentially win $15,000 here. All you have to do is simply apply. All right. This is the entire cohort. It's 6 weeks training. So you have the introduction in week 1, peer chats from 2 to 5. And then week 6 is the pitching, cheer, peer chat, and wrap up. Okay. So that's how this entire thing works. So this is for nonprofits. If this is something that you are interested in, you can visit thegreatersum.org for this virtual incubator where you can potentially win $10,000 or $15,000 and you get a free 6-week program. All right. So this is for my nonprofits. I wanted to do this for you guys, and make sure you watch the video so you can have thorough understanding of exactly who they're looking for. All right, so the next one I want to go over is a pitch competition. This is specifically for my women entrepreneurs. Hold on, guys, I got you. Really soon, we're going to go over that 25K grant opportunity for all startups. So just chill. I got you, all right? So make sure you like the live stream as you're coming in, because we're going over free money that you should be going for. Now, this pitch competition is by eosera, the eosera Foundation. So let's read about the actual foundation pitch competition. So it says Elsie Stoltz Dickerson, CEO and co-founder of eosera, got her start by winning a pitch competition in the early days of jumpstarting her business. That's why she developed her own pitch competition through the eosera Foundation. Each year, women founders are invited to apply to become a finalist in the eosera Foundation pitch competition. In its 4th year, the competition has funded and inspired numerous amazing founders. So you can read more about it. Remember, we talked about the importance, and this is actually one of, I'm going to stop here. This is one of the things that most of y'all don't do. All right. This is very important. All right. Hold on. Remember, hold on real quick. Remember, it says don't apply without reading the guidelines thoroughly. Yesterday, we went over 7 tips. 7 tips on what you should not do when you are applying to grants. This is tip number 1. I'm going to read tip number 1, and then we're going to actively do what we're supposed to do. Do not apply without reading the guidelines thoroughly. Why does it hurt if you just only visit this page and you just simply apply simply because it says it's for women? Why does it hurt? If you skip the fine print, you can miss eligibility requirements, deadlines, or hidden instructions that can instantly disqualify you. So what you should do instead is read the full grant guidelines twice. Highlight keywords like eligibility, funding purpose, required documents, and deadline. Keep a checklist to ensure you meet every single requirement before you even start writing. This is the number 1 tip that most of you all skip. Want to know why? Simply because you come here, right? You see that you watch my live stream or my videos, and you see that I'm talking about a grant that is specifically for women entrepreneurs. So you think in your eyes, in your idea, I'm a woman entrepreneur. I qualify for this. So I'm going to apply. Friend, reading to comprehend is very important. Most people are not doing that in 2025. You are an entrepreneur. You are not most people. You are an entrepreneur. You are not most people. You can't do what everybody do. You must develop. You must change. You understand? So it says right here, read the 2025 eosera Foundation pitch competition rules and regulations. Y'all skip this. Every grant introduction, this entire page is called a grant introductory page. Every grant introductory page has a rules and regulations that you must click on. Do you understand? Y'all give me thumbs up. Tell me something in the chat. I want to make sure you thoroughly understand what I'm telling you. Okay. Let me know if you clearly understand why I'm stressing this part, because this is literally the number 1 reason why most people do not win grants. Okay. Now, on the grant introductory page, in most cases, is going to give you the deadline dates, okay? The eosera Foundation Pitch Competition 2025, okay? The actual pitch competition itself is Thursday, November 13th. They have the actual where it's going to be at an art museum. Call for entries July 8th. Call for entries closes September 9th. What does this mean? The deadline date for submitting for the pitch competition as a woman entrepreneur is September 9th, okay? You have all of these former finalists that you can read about to reassure you. Some of y'all be like, oh, I don't know if this is a real, how do I know if this is a real thing? How do I know if this? They have all of their finalists here. This is proof that in the last 4 years, they have given out money, and these are people they have given money to. If you want to go deeper and you do still don't believe that they gave money to these people, go to these people's social media accounts and DM them. Email these people and ask them directly, have you won the pitch competition from Osera? And matter of fact, while we're at it in this conversation, can you give me tips on how you were able to win the pitch competition? You have to go above and beyond. If you aggressively need this free money, then you need to show that aggression instead of aggressively standing there with your hand out. No, friend. No, this is not how this works in the grant world. You got to really show up and show out for your business. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's just a little bit of work, and it ain't even work because this is something you should be happy about doing. You know what I mean? Like, owning a business should not feel like it's a job. You literally got into entrepreneurship so that way you don't have to work a 9 to 5. Don't allow to get into that mindset of, okay, I'm just working for my business. No, you trust me, you don't want to be in that space. So we are in the pitch competition rules and regulations. This is all the additional information that you did not see on the main grant page. This is why it's important for you to go through this, okay? Now, I'm not going to go through everything. But I just want to show you the importance of going through this particular part. But just keep in mind that September 9th is the deadline date for this grant. And you can read more about it by visiting the actual pitch competition rules and regulations, okay? All right, cool. So it's important for you to do that. This is all the information you need. It's about 5 pages. You don't have to read everything. You just simply need to go to the highlighted parts to reassure yourself on what you're doing, okay? All right, cool. If you feel like I don't have time to do all of that, shall hire a grant writer. When you hire a grant writer, it's important for you to know. When you hire a grant writer, it's important for you to know that you are paying a grant writer to save you time, and you're paying us for your creative writing skills. You do not pay a grant writer to get you a grant, to win a grant for you. That's not how it works. We are grant writers. We are not loan officers. We are not grantors where we can actually give you the reward and we can actually guarantee that you will win. Matter of fact, we would actually get our certificates taken away if we sit up here and tell you that we guarantee that you will win a grant. That is nothing to play with. And I worked hard. 10 years of having this certificate. I worked hard. I will not let anybody play on my name like that. So I'm telling you right now, if you don't have the time to read the rules and regulations, if you don't have the time to be able to develop in your creative writing skills, if you don't have the time right now, but you have the money to be able to hire a grant writer, hire a grant writer. Hiring a grant writer is like having someone on your payroll. That's exactly what it is. Somebody on your team that is going to help you get funding. That's exactly what it is. Have that in your mindset. Have that in your mindset. Big companies have a team of a funding team, specifically a funding team that goes for funding opportunities, investment capital. They go for accelerator programs, grants, federal funding. You understand? They have a team of professionals, grant writers. They have a team of professionals that they all go for funding all the time, which allows that business to use that free money or allow that business to be able to get investors, allows that business to be able to have funding opportunities so they can keep things afloat and scale. You have to professionally and properly set yourself up for success. Success does not happen just because you're hoping and wishing and you in the fantasy world. No, it takes proper planning, proactiveness. Okay, friend? All right. I'm giving you this aggression because you told me that you aggressively need this free money. So we're going to ride out this momentum. Okay. And I'm teaching you everything you need to know. All right, cool. So that's the pitch competition. Now let's move forward to the high five grant. So this is a $10,000 grant. All right. Which is really cool. I received a text message, not text message, but I received a comment yesterday, and someone says, "Hey, I'm a mom, and I would like, I'm looking for a grant for moms." Well, if you are a mommy entrepreneur, High Five Grant for Moms is the perfect grant for you to go for. And yeah, let's talk about their grant timeline for right now. They have a $10,000 opportunity. So the applications are now open. Well, they open September 1st. I'm actually bringing this to you early. So September 1st through 30th. So September 30th is going to be the last date you can actually apply. It says mom entrepreneurs are invited to apply here. Plan 30 to 60 minutes to complete your application and share your high five why behind your business on social media, tagging our title sponsor at the Profitability Project and include the hashtag high five grants. Okay, so we can find you. So these are the instructions when you are applying. So that's how that works. Now the judging starts October 1st through the 10th. Every application is reviewed. A judging panel of experienced entrepreneurs who support mom-funded businesses narrow down entries to 8 promising finalists. So you have 8 finalists for this one. The voting is from October 10th through the 17th. All right, and 8 finalists will be announced featuring their business story. Then voting begins for your favorite mom-owned business. 1 vote is allowed per device. Okay, so then there is like a voting that happens. So the runner-up, the grand prize is 10,000. The first runner-up is 5,000. The second runner-up is 2,500, and the honorable mentions, which is the last 5, would all get $1,000, which is really cool. That's really cool. Honestly, this is one of the runner-ups here. So they've already given out like $93,000. So that's really cool since 2018, and they've been seen on Forbes, Bankrate, all these places, Lending Tree. All right, so let's talk about if you're eligible to apply. All right, so it says you must be a mom. So you're a mom. This grant is exclusively for women caregivers with human children of all ages. If your children are adults, we say once a mom, always a mom. This grant also welcomes first-time expecting moms, stepmoms, and foster moms. You must own at least 50% of your for-profit product or service-based business and are serious about growth. You can verify earning business revenue in the past 12 months between $10,000 to $500,000 annual revenue. Your business is headquartered in the United States or Canada. Okay. So yeah, if you meet those requirements, then you can go ahead and visit themamaladder.com. I also have a link to this particular grant in the description down below. That way you can go ahead and apply to this grant yourself and potentially winning $10,000. Okay. All right, so let's go over my favorite one for the day. $25,000. Now, this is a pitch competition. I love these types of competitions, but this is really cool. And I believe that it's all digital. So let's just talk about it. Now, this is by Distilled Intelligence, which is really cool. What founders need to know. So this is, now, one thing I can say about their website is fire, but it can be, if you are not tech savvy, okay, it can be quite confusing on what you're looking at. All right. So I have a link to this in the description down below. It's called the distilledintelligence.com/founders. That's where you can go to actually submit for this $25,000 pitch competition. I have already done the actual application. The application was literally 7 minutes. Friday, I'm going to walk you through the application. Friday, I'm going to walk you through the application and help you with submitting the application. Okay, we're going to go over what you need to have so you can be properly prepared for Friday. Okay, Friday is $20. It's only 20 slots available. You can join me and I will teach you. I don't even think it's 20 slots. I think now we have we had like 3 or 4 people sign up. So it's limited spots available. And you can join me and I will walk you through applying to this $25,000 grant. Okay, so let's go through it. The premier offsite for founders and funders. DI gathers exceptional founders, investors, and operators for 4 days of inspired conversations, intentional fundraising, and lasting relationships where the unexpected conversations unlock extraordinary outcomes. Okay. So Distilled Intelligence 3.0, that's like one of those like conferences that you can go to that has all these really cool vendors and also investors. Okay. So Distilled Intelligence welcomes founders from all stages. So you can be a startup and sectors building disruptive technologies in massive markets. While not strictly required, we strongly encourage founders to have an open equity financing round during DI to fully leverage investor connections and maximize the value of the event. But you don't have to, because they're asking for all stages and it's not strictly required at all. Okay. So you can be a startup submitting for this for this particular application. You click on submit application. All right. And that's how you get to there. But let's learn more about it before we go to that part. All right. So what founders need to know, which is you. So cost and price. There is no cost for founders to attend Distilled Intelligence. We cover your hotel, all meals, and on-site transport. Just get yourself to Duty's Airport. Fortified Ventures is awarding $1 million in prize money for companies. All right, so there's multiple winners. Companies who choose to participate in DI's pitch competition, structured as investments through modified safes. Okay, and they operate this similar, very similar to Generator, very similar to Generator. Okay, um, application process. We carefully curate each attendee to ensure exceptional chemistry and quality at DI. The founder application is simple and it takes less than 10 minutes. Submit your pitch deck and key company details to help us understand your vision. Pitch deck. Remember, I told y'all you need to have a business plan, a pitch deck, and a 90-second pitch video. Okay, if they're giving out $1 million in total cash prizes for this opportunity, you have to show up for your business. Okay, we'll review applications thoughtfully and continuously, prioritizing founders whose presence will enrich the experience for everyone. With acceptances offered on a rolling basis, early applicants have an advantage. For any questions, you can reach them at that email. Okay, time commitment. Distilled Intelligence isn't a club based on arbitrary exclusivity. It's a summit uniting brilliant minds tackling society's biggest problems and poised to reshape massive or emerging markets. We don't require pre-event commitments or burdensome prep. Your presence, ideas, and contributions during DI are what truly matters. Okay, so they are like creating this entire summit, and a whole like extraordinary vibe. Okay, so what to expect? The Distilled Intelligence application and selection process is very clear and moves quickly. Applications are reviewed and acceptances offered on a rolling basis, so applying early is strongly encouraged. Here's a brief overview of important dates and milestones. So this application has been open since February. The final deadline is August 15th, okay, in 10 days. This is why I'm doing this Friday class, okay, because we need to get in as soon as possible. The acceptances, rolling basis, are and they're finalized by September 15th. What that means is you need to give them 30 days to accept you. Then you arrive at Lansdowne, October 14th at 8 a.m. Lansdowne, I think that's what it's called. Structured conversations and informal networking. So October 14th, the pitch day is actually October 15th. And then the event wrap up and the pitch prizes are October 16th. Okay. So you definitely want to be there for that. The $1 million question, will you join us? All right. I told you their website is really like lit. So this is like a resort, I guess, and then they're saying, oh, so this is how many people. This is interesting. So 100 startups, 300 plus investors. 100 startups get a chance at winning some of that $1 million pot. Why? Come on now, that's really good. And most people ain't. It may be only like 14, 15 of us on this live stream, but I'm telling you, most people don't even know about this. So, and even the ones who know about it, out of the 14 of y'all that's watching, probably only 2 or 3 of y'all really going to apply to it. You understand? So if you think about it, for the ones who actually going to submit the application and go for it, you got a real good chance at potentially winning. Okay, so if we divide it up, $1 million, that's like, you understand, about $1 million divided amongst 100 startups. You do the math. That's how much your winning grand prize will be. Okay. Now this is based in Virginia. All right. So if you are close by the Virginia area, that's actually where they're going to do the Distilled Intelligence Summit. Okay. And over 300 investors. That's really cool. So you definitely need to have your pitch together, ready to go, especially if you're open to investment capital and you're looking forward to getting some more money. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the application really quick. I'm not going to go through it the entire thing because I would have to literally fill it out, but this is what it's through. It's actually through Typeform. It says it takes 7 minutes. Fill out the application. There's a part in here where you will have to upload your pitch. So please be mindful to have your pitch ready. If you don't have a pitch deck, what is a pitch deck? Okay, no worries. Okay, no worries. I'm going to show you what a pitch deck looks like. All right. If you don't have a pitch deck, I write business plans and pitch decks for $300. Okay. If you feel like that's too much money for you right now, you can always, create your own pitch deck using some AI tools or using like Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay. But you need to create a pitch deck, friend. All right. Now, I'm going to show you what a pitch deck is. And then I'm going to show you one like really quick. This is actually one of my friends' pitch decks. It's an old pitch deck that she had from a while ago, but it still works for what we're talking about. All right, hold on one second. Let me make this bigger. Let me show you what a pitch deck is. Okay, this is her investor's pitch deck. Okay, let me see why it's not going through. Okay, open with preview. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, there we go. So this is the pitch deck. Let me blow it up some more so you can see it. Sorry, y'all. Table of contents. If you keep going, the problem we wish to solve, what's the differentiator, all right? All the information about what she's doing, some market research, okay? There's 17 slides. She got pictures, all right? All of that. Explaining to you how what she's doing, is going to help out and how she's going to like target her market. Project timeline. A lot of y'all missed this. This is a project timeline, okay? I know you can't really see because it's like black in the background, but this is a project timeline. This is very important to have in your pitch deck. Brand identity and mission. So what's your mission? How will you make money? What's your entire distribution model, or what is your business model? Viewer profiles. This is something different, but explains more of how she's going to be able to bring awareness to her new idea. Understanding the competitive landscape. So your competitive analysis. And this is my friend. Okay. So this is what a pitch deck is, and you need to have one of those when you are going for these types of opportunities. Y'all say y'all want money, but you need to be properly prepared for it. Now, most entrepreneurs, most startups, most startups go for loans because they don't feel like doing none of that. Most startups go for loans because they don't want to pay anybody, and they don't even want to chat GPT their business plan, and they don't want to put together a pitch. They don't want to put in that work. You are different. Okay. There's a difference between a person who executes and a person who just want money. Okay. Cool. So for those of you who just simply want money, then continue to put yourself in debt. And you're going to be in this consistent debt cycle, where you're always having to pay back. Because once you get a loan, you're going to always feel like you can always depend on those loans. And it also depends on your relationship with money. If you are not good with paying anything back or paying things on time, why would you continue to put yourself in debt? Don't even start it. Don't even do that to your business. Allow your business to show and prove that there is a market of people that want to get your products and services. And once you make your first $500 to $1,000, that is a proof of concept. That shows proof that your business idea, your product and service is scalable. You understand? That's all grantors want to know. Can you make money? Can you make the dollar bill? Because if you can't be resourceful and you cannot think like an entrepreneur and create a strategy to bring more awareness about your product and service, but you over here aggressively asking for a handout because your Benz car note is due, because you want to move in this new condo in Miami that's $3,000 a month. Also, you can start doing content that have nothing to do with your mission for your business. Trust and believe that they know when you're trying to finesse the grant. They know when you're trying to. This is why majority of the loans are actually not getting approved. Keep in mind that the loan officer and the manager of that particular bank, they receive bonuses based off of how many loans they do not approve. So they do not want to approve your loan. They're going to find every reason why to say no. If you think what I'm saying is nonsense, I would love for you to challenge me and Google it. I would love for you to challenge me and Google it. Investopia says it. What's the other one? Lending Tree says it. They all have articles out there that actually state how bank managers, right, how they are able to keep their jobs as determined on how many loans they did not give out that year. So if I work for Chase and it's all 14 of y'all come in in the same week. You understand? And y'all all asking me for 10, 15, 20, 50,000, 100,000. I'm going to find my best. I'm going to do my best to tell you, find the best ways to tell you no. I hope you come in here, you don't have good credit. I hope you come in here and you don't have assets. I hope you come in here and you don't have a business plan. I hope you come in here and you don't have your social media or any type of online presence. I'm hoping that you don't, because it's going to be easier for me to tell you no. So I don't have to go through the paperwork and go through all of that to try to get you get everything processed, versus me telling you yeah, and then we have to go through this whole process of getting you the loan, doing all of this stuff, and within 24 to 48 hours you might have the money in your bank account. You understand? It's up. Y'all challenge me and go Google this stuff. You don't have to take my word for it. Like literally, even if you do, and especially during these political times where there's no diverse equity inclusion, if you are like me, a black woman, you know what I mean? A black woman, trust and believe that right there, they'll tell you right now, no, ma'am, we're not giving out any funding opportunities. You can ask them why all day, but they don't have to tell you why. They don't have to tell you why. According to the law, they just simply walk you out. Just like H&M, is walking people out of their store because there's no diverse equity inclusion. We don't want you to shop here. And we don't have to tell you why. You don't have rights. Yeah. So that's the type of times we're living in. And I want to reassure you that. So it's time for you to get aggressive about standing for your business. It's time for you to be aggressive about going for these free money opportunities that I'm always telling you guys about for the last 6 years on YouTube. And I want you to be professionally and properly prepared. No more, long gone are the days. No more are you going to sit in that mindset and say, they didn't teach us this in school. They weren't supposed to, baby. Because everybody can't be the queen bee. You need some worker bees to bring the honey in. You understand? That's even street code. Everybody can't be the plug. You need some people on the streets to sell the product. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. You need people who's going to work. So no, they're not going to teach you this, especially in public school. Okay. But we're getting over that idea of what they did not do, and we're not blaming the system. Instead, what we are doing is taking over our life and taking charge of our energy and taking over our mindset. And what we're going to do is properly educate ourselves. You guys should be watching videos even after you watch my live streams. After all of this good motivation I'm giving you, I'm hoping that you are doing the extra mile into watching other YouTube videos about pitch competitions. Y Combinator has an entire YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers that has a startup school, and it's a whole playlist full of videos that teaches you about pitch competitions, teaches you how to be properly prepared for investment capital, teaches you how to speak to investors, teaches you how to go for these type of opportunities. I hope you're going the extra mile to educate yourself, because listen, ain't nothing handed to you. Life never gave that. Life never gave handouts. Life never gave handouts. Even stimulus check weren't a handout for real. Life never gave handouts. Life never gave that. It never gave that. So by you being a startup and you say I'm an entrepreneur, the E stands for execution. Time to execute. You have to show up for your business. In the days that you don't show up for your business, those are the days that your business is not operating. And the longer you are not operating, the longer it is that it's collecting dust, and then you are consistently just putting your business on hold. Don't do that for yourself, okay? So what questions do you guys have for me? Go ahead and put your questions and concerns in the chat. Don't forget, Friday, I'm doing my class on how to apply to this $25,000 opportunity. I'm going to walk you through the application. If you are in the beauty industry, if you sell hair extensions, if you have a salon, if you rent a chair, a booth, or whatever have you, and you are interested in the $50,000 grant opportunity, I'm actually going to walk you all through that particular grant on Saturday. Okay. So if you're interested in that, you can text hashtag 50K to my number. The number is pinned at the bottom. Or if you want me to go over the $25,000 grant with you and walk you through the application, then you could text 25K to my number that's pinned at the top or at the bottom. Okay, so that way I can help you potentially win some money that you truly deserve. Okay. All right. So what questions do you have? Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Hey, Nell Activity. Hey, Renee. She wrote my grants for me. She is a real deal. Awesome. Let me see. I did start my business plan. I think I might need help finishing it. Okay. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me. We can go over your business plan together. I will be working on Friday. Are you applying for people? And if so, can you let me know how much if it works on my business hair industry? So that's the 50K for a Saturday. And no, I'm not applying for you. I'm actually walking you through the application. If you want me to apply to grants for you, then that's a separate price. It's $420. $420 for me to apply to 5 grants for you, or you can get on my grant writing subscription. As 10K per winner, yes. Shelby did my business plan. Yes. I hope you're using it for other grants. Yeah, I'm at the point I can't even sleep. I got to get it done. That's really good. That's really, really good. I'm now applying to grants manually instead of utilizing AI, which is very good because there's no way you'll be able to win a grant. Oh, so that actually brings me to this conversation. Some of y'all actually missed the 7 tips that we went over yesterday. So good afternoon, Kizzy. Thank you so much for coming on. So some of you guys actually missed the 7 tips of what not to do when you're applying to grants. So we're going to review those things as well. Okay. Because I want to make sure you're applying to grants. Okay. The right way. Okay. I sent you a request on your website, hoping for a response. If you did, my emails is so crazy, but you can always text me, Puma Co 10. You can always text me. And yeah, why didn't you just text me? My number is here. Let me see. You're welcome. Yeah, I didn't want to use AI for the writing part either. Yeah, you should not use AI to submit grant applications, okay? Because they know when you are using AI, and once they detect that your answers are AI, then guess what? They're going to throw your application out the window. So you don't want that to happen, okay? I'm just getting started. I need a lot of help. Kizzy, drop your question. This is a safe space, and I'm here to answer any questions and concerns and to motivate you and reassure your mindset on reasons why you are worthy of this free money that I'm always talking about. Okay, so tell me, what is your questions? And don't be scared. You know what I mean, Kizzy, because your question might actually be a question that somebody else has and they just didn't know how to ask it. Okay. All right, so while you're dropping your questions, I'm going to go over, some tips really quick, the 7 tips. So we already went over the one, don't apply without reading the guidelines thoroughly. That's what we went over. Now, the second one was don't submit a generic copy and paste proposal. So this is literally for those of you who are using AI. All right, so remember, I told you it's not good for you to copy the question, put it into ChatGPT, and then get the answer and copy the answer and put it into application. What the grantors do is they download your grant application and then they your grant application submission, and then they will upload it to Zero GPT, which is the world leading AI detector, and they can determine if you have used a ChatGPT or AI. All right, so grant reviewers can spot a template application instantly. It signals laziness and lack of connection to the funder's mission. So what you should do is you need to actually manually write out the answers. So you need to tailor your application to the funder. Use their language and mission statement in your proposal. Show them you understand their priorities by tying your project directly to their stated goals. Where would you get this information? You would simply get this information by going to the grants guidelines. Okay, if you go over the guidelines, which is what we talked about earlier, then you'll be able to know exactly what the mission of the grant is, and you can use some of their vocabulary words and make sure it ties in together to reassure them on exactly how you are going to use the money towards the ultimate mission that you and the grant are you both share the same vision and mission. You understand? All right, so number 3, don't ignore the impact session. Impact session is you showing measurable impact, right? How you're going to use this money, how it's going to be impactful. So why it hurts? If you can't show measurable results, the funder won't see the value in investing in you. So what you should do is be specific instead of saying, So be very specific. Instead of saying this grant will help my community, say this grant will allow us to serve 150 people, 150 people, and in 6 months, increasing the graduation rates or increasing some rates at 20%, right? So you need to use numbers, timelines, and measurable outcomes. So you can tailor that to whatever business that you have and whatever you got going on, but you need to use measurable outcome. All right. So if you have a hair salon or whatever, or a hair care product, and you guys say you are selling medical wigs. So you can say that this grant will be impactful, will allow me to have the supplies and equipment necessary to be able to develop over 50 wigs, which 25 or 15 of these wigs or 10 of these wigs I can be able to donate to a children's cancer research center. And then the other 40 wigs I'll be able to sell, bringing in profits at an increasing my profits at 20%. Also being able to use some of those profits to develop a medical wig school where I can teach other cosmetologists who are interested into knowing how to get into this particular market of our industry, allowing them to increase their revenue too, right? So you need to be very detailed. You see how I just went through a whole rabbit hole of how that's going to be entirely impactful? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Okay. All right. Number 4, we're going to go over it really quick. Don't submit without a clear budget. Everybody needs to have a budget. It's very important. An unclear or sloppy budget makes you look unprepared and unreliable. This is true. A lot of y'all say I need funding, but you don't even have a budget plan. You don't even have it written down on a legal pad. Professionally, that is so unprepared. Okay. I would not give you money if you don't have it on a spreadsheet, or if you don't create your own like chart, okay, that shows that. You need to provide a detailed line item budget that matches your proposal narrative. Every dollar should have a purpose. Make sure the numbers add up. Funders notice mistakes. Okay, make sure it add up. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Number 5, don't wait until the last minute. This is like something that a lot of people do. Please don't wait until the last minute. All right. Make sure you submit the grant application as soon as possible. The sooner you submit it, the sometimes it increases your chances of approvals, because sometimes you are going for what's called first come, first serve opportunities. Okay. So don't wait till last minute. This one right here, don't forget to attach required documents. I always say this all the time, but make sure you have a business plan, a pitch deck, and a 90-second pitch video, making sure you already have your documents properly prepared. And also, you should create your own business document folder. I told y'all yesterday, but I'm going to tell all the new people that's here, make sure you like the live stream. Make sure you like the live stream as you're coming in, please, so that way the YouTube algorithm can push this good information out to everybody else. But yesterday, I told y'all about the guy who texted me and asked me for his EIN number. I did not comprehend that, because I don't set up your businesses, and also I'm not your coach. But because I had wrote a grant for him, which is the $10,000 grant for him back in January or February, he felt that it was okay for him to ask me for his EIN number. Why do you not have your employer identification number from the IRS? Why don't you have that document in a business document folder on your laptop? That is so not organized and not prepared. How are you going to go for funding, but you around here asking other people that you gave your EIN number to for your EIN number? Let me make it very clear. An EIN number is like your business social security number. Once somebody got that, they can apply for funding in your business name. You around here playing with your business social security number. Are you okay? Are you really okay? So when I got that text message, I was like, oh, so I asked him, I said, I like, he said, well, I applied to a grant and I filled out your grant request form back in February, January, and I put my EIN number on there. Yeah, but guess what? I am not Meta. I don't harbor your data. I don't keep your data. I don't keep none of that. Because you want to know why? I have to pay for storage, for Google Drive storage. So I delete those forms as soon as the offer is done. It's deleted. No. And you can't rely on me, a grant writer. I'm not even your business development coach, because I'm also a small business development coach. I'm not even your coach. I'm not even your coach for you to even be comfortable enough to ask me, bruh. No, People need mentorship. And this is the same type of person that will not gain mentorship, that believes that they can do all things by themselves. And that is pridefulness, and that is stubbornness, and that is not going to allow you to grow. You need fellowship. It said in the Bible. You need fellowship. You need mentorship. Yes. Yeah. you People need people. God don't just bless you with a money tree in your backyard. This ain't a movie. This is not a movie. That's not how this works. When God want to bless you and want to help you out, guess what? He gonna bring somebody else in human form to come and help you. Ram in a bush, not a physical ram and not a physical bush. Some of y'all ain't reading y'all Bibles, but even if you're not religious, it's okay. It's okay. If we are professionally speaking about this thing, proactiveness and organization is needed for your development process. You must be properly organized. Please have a folder with your business documents that has your LLC or your business registration or your nonprofit 501c3 registration information, that has your logo, that has your EIN number or your tax exempt, your 501c3 from the IRS, that has, your pitch deck, your business plan. All of that needs to be in a business document folder. You understand? If you don't know that, I'm here to tell you. If you don't do it today, you're not serious. Because you gonna get off this life and just act like ain't nobody just teach you this morning. Don't play, okay? Friend, don't play. Friend, don't even play, okay? 7, don't assume one application is enough. This is also number 1 as well. All right. Most of y'all, this refers back to those comments. Okay. The comments where people are like, oh, grants is not real. Grants is a scam. I submitted for this grant application that you said it was giving out $100,000 and I didn't even win. They didn't even email me back or whatever the case may be. So I'm not applying to grants anymore because I feel like it's too much. And I think they're scamming. I think they're just collecting our data. Let me tell you something about those people. Those type of comments and the people that go for those comments, they only submitted one grant application. Let me tell you something. I submit over 300 grants a year for myself. My client that I won over $100,000 for, and back in April, we submitted over 100 grants for him. My recent client that just got the 100K generator opportunity, we submitted over 30 grants for her in 1 month, and she was able to get that return. It all depends on how properly, professionally prepared you are. It also depends on the competition. It depends on so many different factors on how you can win a grant. But the best chance is the best way that you can give yourself a really good chance at winning is being properly prepared and applying to as many as these opportunities as possible. You can't expect to go into a gas station or a corner store and get one scratch off and expect yourself to win $1 million off of that one scratch off that you got. Are you okay? Are you okay? Compared to the drunk man that stand in front of that store every day that be panhandling, and he goes in there every $5 that he get to give himself a chance at winning. He got a higher chance at winning 100K or $1 million than you, because he going for it way more than you. You understand? Okay, don't assume one application is enough. You need to be applying to 7 grant applications a week. That's why I give you the grant search engine grantwatch.com, because grantwatch.com is literally a grant search engine that is going to allow you to find over hundreds of grants that serve in your favor. Now you're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to go through each of those grants and find the ones that serve in your favor. Create a grant list for yourself. Here's an extra tip: sell the grant list. If you are into the hair industry, okay, and y'all know how much money y'all be making off of braiding styles, putting on wigs, y'all make money, okay? So that's a big $1 billion industry. If you in the hair industry and you looking for grants, you can go ahead and find grants that is in your specific area and that is in your particular in the hair industry, right? Create a list using grantwatch.com and sell that same list for $10. Yes, you can even partner up with me and not only sell the list for $10, but I also teach the class for free, teaching them how to actually apply to these grants that you gave them a grant list for. That is a way that you can open up a door, an extra stream of income. For those of you who are like, I want to open up my own physical brick and mortar, my own hair salon, or I want to go take this thing global, and I need, you got to find different ways to make money. Selling ebooks, doing webinars, and all this stuff is not the only stream of income. You have to start thinking like an entrepreneur. Yes. You think me just coming up with the class to do it on Friday and Saturday, that's just like, oh, like that's like the only way? No. Yeah, I have more than 7 streams of income with just this one business. That does not include from agriculture that I'm investing in, from these cows and all this different land and stuff that I'm investing in. And that also doesn't, that has nothing to do with my international real estate. And also I'm thinking about starting like a business on, how we can go to China and how we can do all kind of stuff in China. Yeah. Like, you got to start thinking about different ways that you can actually make this money shake for real. Okay? You really do. All right. So what are y'all saying? Yes. Okay. Yes. Come with the budget. Okay. Yes. Yep. Homeless shelters as well. Exactly. Thank you. This is gold. I'm happy that you think that. I started a list for my business plan. I put together everything I want to do. I just need to detail write it. Yep. Use ChatGPT and put it together. All right. So Kizzy says, just started on YouTube. Want to come my own entrepreneur, or where do I get started? You want to become an entrepreneur. You want to become an entrepreneur and you don't know, or do I, wait, it says just started on YouTube, want to become, I guess you said, my own entrepreneur. So you want to become an entrepreneur. Or I think you're saying, where do I need to get started at? So for number one, the first thing that you always should do is a business plan, because that's going to reassure you on what your goals are. All right. What is the plan? What is your idea? Who are your target? Like, who are your clients? Right? What do you want to do? That's the fun part. You need to think deeply about what I want to do, how I'm going to do it, who I'm going to sell to, what's like, you know what I mean? What am I going to do? Um, and, you know, how am I solving a problem? How am I helping these people out? So you start thinking like that. And then you need to figure out, okay, so how much money do I want to make from this on a monthly basis and an annual basis? Okay, cool. So does it take money for me to be actually like get this started? So if it's a product-based business, how much does it cost for you to buy the supplies and equipment for you to be able to develop this product? You understand? So you got to think about that. Okay, so how much do it cost for me to like develop this thing, right? How am I going to get people to buy my product? You need to think. These are things that you should be thinking about right now in your startup phases. So a business plan will help you organize that. Now, for right now, you can just jot things down so you can start, just like Negativity is doing, pretty much jotting everything down, and then you'll be able to professionally and properly put it all together in a nice document. But you need to start thinking about those things first. Then you also need to do the foundational paperwork for your business. So what is that? That means you need to register your company through your state. Registering your company, or if you are not in the United States and you're in the UK or you're here in Africa with me, you still need to register your company through your country or through your state. Okay. Um, then you need to get your identification numbers. So that can be an EIN. All right. That's going to be the number that you need for the IRS for when you're filing taxes. So you need to get that. You definitely need to get what's called a website, a domain. The domain is like that www.google.com, right? That address is actually called a domain. So you can go to GoDaddy.com. You can click the link in my description. I got like a nice percentage off for you to be able to go ahead and get you a domain. And also, GoDaddy will give you a free website. So you can go ahead and use GoDaddy and set up your free website. You don't need nothing too fancy right now. You just simply need to have a internet presence. In addition to that internet presence, you need to do some social media accounts. Okay. Definitely open up an IG, all that stuff, right? Because now people on IG, like they're trying to find businesses in different ways they can shop on IG. Okay. So those are just a few things that you should do when you're getting started. If you want to have a deeper conversation and you just need some motivation and you need some reassurance, you need some mindset training, you need some coaching, some mentorship, it's $50. You can go ahead and click the link in my description, or you can visit my website, superchargemybusiness.com. And I'll be more than happy to hop on a 45-minute Zoom call with you. You can tell me all about your idea. I will organize the steps for you. But friend, this YouTube here, the game is free, but the hustle is sold separately. So you got to really be in the mindset of, okay, I really want to do this entrepreneurship thing. Okay. I definitely feel more confident. I am a good writer. That's really good. Oh, if I want anything, you can bring me a cappuccino. Thank you. 2 sugars, please. Yes, thank you. Um, so what else y'all gotta say? Look, what else? What else? What other questions do you have? I see that y'all are texting, so let me start texting some of y'all back. Um, this was a really good conversation. We went over 4 grants, totaling out more than $50,000. Don't forget, Friday I'm going over the $25,000 grant. We are going to apply to that together, and it's a small setting. It's not going to be 100 people on a Zoom call. It's very limited spots because I want to be able to answer all of your questions, and I want to walk you through the application. We're applying together. It's important for you to have a sense of community to hold you accountable of doing stuff. Okay, so this is going to be that safe space. And then Saturday, we're going over a $50,000 grant for anybody who's in the beauty industry. All right. And if you are in the beauty industry, you can join us on Saturday. It's just $20 for you to join, and it's limited spots as well because I really want to get to know y'all and I really want to be able to help. You know what I mean? Genuinely. I'm going to put something together, and can you just maybe look at it? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. Just book a consultation. I'll review grants with yeah, I review grants with you on these consultations. I review business plans, business pitch decks, So yeah, I can review it with you. So you're more than welcome. Puma Co. Don't forget, you can text me because if you put something in my website, I don't know where it went. I don't see the email. Okay, yeah, I can start there. Okay, perfect. So that would be cool. What else is it? But yeah, for your business plan, I mean, yes, you can do your own business plan. But yeah, for your business plan, you can always now that is one thing you can use AI to help you out. Okay. But answering the grant questions, that's a no. But you can use AI to help you do your business plan and help you with your pitch deck. Like, yeah, you can use AI for that. Yeah. I mean, that's not going to stop you from being able to win opportunities. You just need to make sure you practice. This is another thing. Practice your pitches. Practice how you are going to have a conversation with somebody. You know what I mean? Practice those things. You need to practice your pitch. 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 Ask questions. A closed mouth don't get fed. So if you don't know what I'm saying, please ask questions. But you need to practice your pitch. You need to practice what that conversation looks like with somebody who wants to give you free money. You need to practice your pitch. You need to practice your pitch. Okay? You need to actually read your business plan. You need to actually understand what are the goals. You need to actually understand these things. Please. All right, so go ahead. What are your questions? Last minute questions. I think like the last 10 minutes, last 5 or 10 minutes, we'll be on here. Unless my mic cuts out, because I think it's possibly going out. Hit the like button for this queen. She's giving great information. God bless the world. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Game is free. The game is free. The hustle is sold separately. The game is free. The hustle is sold separately. I'll tell you anything you want for free if I know it, and especially from experience and from my education. But it's still up to you. It's still up to you to put the effort in. Okay, so I text all of y'all back. Oh, okay. So, do we not have any questions? Some really good grants. Make sure you refer to the links in the description. All the grants that we went over in this live stream are all like the details and everything is in the description, and also yeah, all of the my booking link is in the description too, right? And don't forget about our Friday class and Saturday class. I have an entire short that's on YouTube, so you can learn more there about those classes that we're doing on Friday and Saturday. All right, it's just $20, but it's so worth it. Um, so if there is no further questions, I'm probably gonna let y'all go. Let me see. Shay Shay Speak says, "Hey Shelby, I have a question. Can I use grant money to get my business back in good standing?" Yep, I used a grant to pay off my debts. I was in debt. I had 200K I had to pay back to SBA. So yep, you can do it. Thank you. Yep, you can do it. You can do it for sure. You can do it. Um, and then you know what they might ask you, like, why, like, what happened? You know what I mean? What happened to your business? How did it fit? Like, how did everything fail? Yeah, how what happened? If it was COVID, then explain how COVID was very, like, really it did affect your business, and they understand. But we 5 years after COVID, so y'all can't keep using that as an excuse for real, for real. 5 years after, and we got AI. This is like easiest time to make. It's like the easiest time to make money and to start a business. So I don't even think they're gonna accept that anymore. They actually want to know what's really going on. You can even be honest with them. You know what I mean? You can be honest with them. Yeah. Not only did COVID affect me, but I lost my parents. I went through a lot of losses. I went through physical and mental depression, but I was able to still persevere and look at the brighter side of life. Yeah. Maybe a show on entrepreneurial mindset. I think we talk about that every day. I think we talk about that every day. Hmm. I really think that we talk about that every day. Like having the entrepreneurial mindset. Every lesson that I talk about on here, um, I I say something about mindset. Want to know why I haven't done uh Puma Co 10? You want to know why I haven't done any like mindset training or anything like that on YouTube? It's simply because that's the number one reason why a lot of people don't go to these webinars and stuff. I mean, the seminars and things like that. So I was watching this thing, and because remember I asked y'all like the question, but I saw this one TikTok, and she got like so many views or whatever, and so many like responses. And I was reading through the comments, and her TikTok was pretty much about like, don't go to these women seminars, these women business lunches and brunches. Don't go to these business conventions and summits because they all give mean girl energy, or they're just trying to sell you something, so it's not really valuable, or it's they all say the same. So in the comments, the people was like, and they all say the same thing: mindset, financial literacy. You need to increase your financial literacy, but they're not giving tips. They're not giving value. So let me tell you something. Okay, you get what you pay for, and that's not every summit. You understand? And if they're repeating the same things like business mindset, and you're actually getting offended by that, like, it depends. You have to know what type of room you're getting into. If it's a woman brunch and this is not a you haven't done your research on this person, but this person has a lot of followers on social media, you kind of get what is expected with that type of thing versus going to a summit or a conference that's reputable. What do I mean by that? Okay, InvestFest, InvestFest, Tech, Afro Tech. Um, what is it? I'm trying to think of like another business one that's really good. But Those are real business summits in that have a lot of value, a lot of game, like a lot of knowledge, that you're going to meet over 20,000 people at these places. Like, that's reputable. You can actually Google and look at the reviews of those, like those two that I just went over, and you can determine if you want to go for a woman's brunching that you're going to. And you have to think about the reasons for why you're going to it. Are you going simply because you like that person? The first idea usually is, I like this person, I like what she said on social media. That means you're going because you're a fan. You're going because you are fan. You're a fan. That's what's expected of this situation. Versus if you have the mindset of, I like the way she teaches, I comprehend what she says. You understand? And because I comprehend what she says and I like the way she teaches, I'm going to go in hopes that I know that I'll get the value, because she already given out free game and a lot of value through her social media content. Me versus somebody who is has like hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, and they just put out short videos, but you can't find their credentials anywhere else. You can't, they don't do live streams where they're giving out free game, a lot of knowledge. Their prices, it's not super, it's not in your price range. Like, you could tell. I don't know how to explain it for real, because I don't want to sound controversial. I really don't want to sound controversial, so I have to be careful with the choices of words that I'm saying. But you can tell when you're going to one of those women's seminars or um, men in business seminars, and it's a fan thing. Okay, so you have that, and then you have reputable seminars where people have credentials, they have all kind of stuff, and you understand, they're giving out good information. So I said all of that to say, okay, um, I said all of that to say, I don't talk about mindset because it turns people off. When you do business mindset and you talk only about business mindset on YouTube, um, because people are like tired of hearing business mindset. Change your mindset. Um, Even though it's true, you do have to develop your mindset and change. It's just people would rather have that conversation in a one-on-one. So that's why I don't really talk about it. But I try to incorporate how to change your mind in every lesson that we talk about. The top 7 things you should not do when you are applying to grants. Okay. Remember we went over bringing your idea into business, right? And the importance of feeling like you are worthy of going for opportunities, feeling like you are worthy of having a good business. That's mindset. hmm Are you a affiliate of the SBA, Small Business Development Center, so SBDC, Womenator? No. Mm-mm. I used to be. That was back in the day when the SBA actually gave out grants, but they don't do it anymore. I used to be, though. You are worth the risk because you make it a secure investment. Yeah. hmm Yeah. You gotta think about that person's business model. You know what I mean? Like, you got the ones that, like me, that'll give you all the free game. You barely have people like me, but that give you all the free game until you can do it yourself, or you can hire me to do it for you. And if I was doing which I am, I'm doing a class, right? I'm doing a class on Friday and Saturday, and it's just $20, right? Limited spots though, because I want it to be an intimate space, and I want to actually be able to teach you and really give you good value and answer your questions and your concerns, right? So your investment of $20 is potentially going to help you win hundreds of thousands of dollars, or less, whatever the grant we are going over for that one, right? So let's say the 25K is going to help you potentially win $25,000 for free. You're also going to learn how to apply and what you should put on the grant applications for other grants that you can go for. That's value. You paying $20 for it. You understand? Now, if you want me to do it for you, you can pay me to write grants for you. You understand? Versus somebody who has a webinar and they're going to sell you the webinar, or they're going to want you to join this Zoom for like 3 to 5 days and go through this whole grant class thing, right? You're not going to apply to not one grant with them. They're just going to properly prepare you for grants. They're going to tell you what you need to have to properly prepare yourself. And then at the end of that grant class, then they're going to pitch their services to you. There's a difference. There's a difference. I'm not putting shade on anybody. I don't know anybody else's business model, so don't think I'm talking about anybody, please. But I'm just saying there's a difference, okay? There's a difference there. You have to look at the difference of business model and go with the business structure or the business model that you actually like and that's more appealing to you. All right. If you like the idea that, oh, I have the option to watch this girl on YouTube every day, live on YouTube. She dedicates almost every day to be on here. I can ask her any question for free every day. And also, if I have any questions about a specific grant, I can just book a very affordable $50 one-on-one call with her. And then I can also join her class on Friday and Saturday for $20 so she can walk me through a grant. You understand? So I still have the ability to, if you understand, like all of my prices are affordable. Everything less than $1,000. So, you know what I mean? You go with the one that is more in your favor. That you feel like you can get a lot of gain for a lot of more bang for your buck, I would say. Okay. Is there a Galaxy app? No, I haven't been able to access the app. I think it's because I'm in Africa, so it shut me down. Yeah, it shut me down. Mm. hmm I tried to re-download it on my phone, but it wouldn't do it. So that sucks. I have a really good Galaxy profile too. I put effort into it. It says genius. Yes, but it's a different business model, right? It's a different way to look at it. Or you can do, like I said, a class with somebody for 3 or 5 days. You have to dedicate every day to go to that class. So you can learn something new every day. And you then at the end, then that's when they want to pitch their services after they told you how to prepare for it, but you didn't really walk through any opportunities to reassure you actually how to do it, right? How to do it yourself. The model behind this is, even though I have a done for you service, I'm also teaching you and letting you know you could do this yourself. But since I know you're not going to, I have the done for you service. But at least I'm still giving you the chance at learning how to do it yourself for free. That's a genuine person versus somebody who just simply want to sell you a webinar now, telling you to buy the webinar now. You understand? And then once you have purchased a webinar that's going to teach you how to do it yourself, then they're also going to pitch their services to you. The difference is I'm teaching you for free. Yeah. There's a, it's so many different ways to be able to determine who you're dealing with when we're talking about going to those like empowerment brunches. And also understand what you're signing up for. Empowerment brunches is literally mindset. It's to empower you. It's to help you develop. It's to motivate you. Empowerment brunch. All right. A business summit is different. A business summit is we going here to network. We going here to connect. We going here to get make some money, or we going in here to get some investors, whatever the case may be. A business summit, a business conference. A conference could be we're all coming together. We're gonna talk. We're gonna review. We're gonna review what we have went through in this past year and what's to come. So it's a conference. We're having a conference about what we should expect these next 1 year or 2 years in this particular industry. All right. And we need to talk about, what resources and tools that we can use to help us stay ahead. That's a conference. A business summit is different. Business conference, different. An empowerment event is different. You're going in an empowerment event. They're there to empower you, to motivate you, and to help you develop your business mindset. They're going to use key vocabulary words that will convict you to actually motivate you to get up and do something about your entrepreneurship journey. I hope that gave you clarity, because sometimes you need to know what you're paying for too. Yeah. Lady had like she had like we're at like almost 100,000 comments, like almost like, man, she had likes on that video. And she was like, yeah, I'm not going to no more women brunches, empowerment brunches, because they are all catty and they all like mean girl. They give mean girl energy and they want you to be their fan. They want you to be fan. Okay, understand what you're going for. You understand? Know what you are going for. Okay, there's a difference. Hey, thank you, sis, and hello. Thank you. How are you? All right, so we've been on here for a while, an hour and 30 minutes. I really do appreciate you guys being with me. I'm going to, finish up some work here and get ready to finish planning some things that I have to do this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Make sure you join me same time tomorrow. All right, 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. Don't forget about my classes that we're doing. So you can always text to my number. It's pinned somewhere in the chat. And I really do appreciate you guys for being with me. All right, I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. I don't know what we'll talk about tomorrow, but I'll figure it out. Okay, that's why I'm gonna work on that right now. All right, so enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, friend? Bye-bye for now.